Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
Following the recent news of Daisy Ridley's return to a new Star Wars film, a new rumor has offered a surprising update on her role in the story's proceedings. And so while Star Wars Celebration offered a plethora of new announcements for everyone's favorite galaxy far, far away, it was news of Rey's movie that got mixed reactions from fans. Seeing how despised the Rise of Skywalker was by many, the knee-jerk online response was not a surprise. And really what I can say to that in response is, well, hate the writing, hate the character, not the actress. Daisy Ridley is amazing. Everyone deserves a second chance, even those involved in the sequel trilogy. After all, most of the blame for the execution of those movies lies within the creatives and executives behind the scenes, not the actress or even the character herself at that. And so now some new whispers and rumors have offered a fresh intel on how Rey will be factored into the highly anticipated theatrical event of her return to a movie. While recently speaking on the Hot Mic podcast, industry insider Jeff Snyder shared some surprising information about the upcoming Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy directed Star Wars movie. Real quick, some basic groundwork here is that this movie, just announced at Star Wars Celebration, is going to be directed by the Miss Marvel director on Disney+, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. This movie is going to be set 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. Industry insider Jeff Snyder is very reputable for when it comes to different leaks and rumors across different franchises for both Star Wars and Marvel. The project will bring Daisy Ridley's Rey back to a key role as she builds a new Jedi Order. According to Snyder, however, she'll be in a supporting role, not the film's lead. He compared it to her being like the Luke or the Obi-Wan of the situation rather, more of a master-like character. As Jeff Snyder says in quote, "Yeah, from what I understand from some of the rumors that have come out here, Daisy won't necessarily be the lead. She'll be like the Luke or the Obi-Wan of the situation as she rebuilds the new Jedi Order," ending that quote right there, of course into reference for Luke Skywalker of how he was more of this old hermit-like Jedi Master in the sequel trilogy. Same thing for the Obi-Wan Kenobi type character in the original trilogy. Not how we see those characters necessarily in their quote-unquote prime of where we see Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy and how we see Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequels. More of their older versions. It does make sense for Lucasfilm to want to keep a character like Rey and likely Finn in a supporting role. The general consensus of fans really tends to show a desire to shift focus away from the Skywalkers. Just overall, putting Rey in the lead would be the opposite of that if for anything. Considering her standing in the universe of a galaxy far, far away, it is important that she does become involved in these larger stories. If she doesn't, it basically becomes a plot hole in itself in a way. I would love to see Finn as a main focus for this movie and actually have John Boyega get his justice for his character. He was recently rumored to actually be reprising his role as Finn and to also appear in this movie. Maybe a Jedi character of Finn, finally where he receives his Jedi training from Rey and is able to have a lightsaber and everything like that in this movie would be really awesome. But however, as I did mention earlier on in this video, as this movie takes place 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, he would more than likely get that Jedi training way sooner than anybody else, and would actually probably be more of a fully fledged Jedi by this time. This year being said, overall here, it seems as though that Rey, of course, would be returning to quite a pivotal type of role here for this movie, but not necessarily be the lead or the main character for this movie. I think that there's a 50-50 chance, however, for when it comes to John Boyega's Finn character. He could very well be the main lead role for this movie, but then again, as I had just mentioned, hopefully he would have already received his Jedi training to some sorts in some capacity, would already have his own lightsaber and be able to use his Force abilities by this time, as it is set 15 years after those events of The Rise of Skywalker. And so too, not so much of a surprise, no matter what in the past John Boyega has said, his character is still a big part of the Star Wars universe, one who should be a part of many more stories. Hopefully, one of those will involve his own lightsaber. Seeing Finn appear in maybe some type of Disney Plus special, I think, again, would be really cool. More something that's focused and centric on his character, as maybe per se a mini-series, similar to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, of where it is a season 1 and done type of deal that would take probably place immediately right after the events of The Rise of Skywalker and before these events of this movie. Maybe in order to help prepare and set us up a little bit more for the return of these characters, and a Disney Plus show I think could be cool. As I mentioned, this Disney Plus special, in my own eyes as a fan fan theory would be centered around Finn, receiving his Jedi training from both a Force ghost Luke Skywalker and as well as Rey. Of course, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What are you guys looking forward to seeing most with this Rey Skywalker / Finn Jedi movie taking place 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker? And also, as for what we know right now, this movie is looking going to pre-production sometime later this year, early next year, and have a release of December 19th, 2025. I would love to hear what you guys all think in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. This has been Unofficial Star Wars. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.